What's up, guys? Hardcore Horror Nerd here. Today I'm going to be talking about my trip to Days of the Dead in Atlanta. This was my first ever horror convention, and it was the most amazing experience I ever had. My parents got me the weekend pass as an early birthday gift, and it was the greatest weekend I've had ever. I got to meet Chandler Riggs, Jason Mewes, Bill Moseley, Sid Haig, and Dee Snider. Got all their signatures. And in this video, I will show those off. I picked up a couple movies while I was there. I picked up this t-shirt while I was there and a poster for the convention itself. And I'm going to be talking about the panels that I got to sit in on. The first thing I want to show is the McFarlane Toys Series 4 Carl Grimes action figure. I got Chandler Riggs to sign this, and this kid is the coolest, most awesome kid you will ever meet. Really loves his fans, really loves showing up for his fans. If you ever get the chance to meet him, do it. He's really super nice. Next is Jason Mewes Funko Pop vinyl figure of Jay from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Here on the side he wrote Snoogans, and on the front he signed his name and wrote Snoochie Boochies. This guy is the funniest guy you will ever meet. Super awesome. Loves his fans. He said the only reason he's there is for his fans, and the best thing about him is he is a fan himself. And actually, a cool story about this figure is this was the first one he's ever seen in person. Him and I had like a maybe 5-minute conversation about it. He's a really awesome, super nice guy. My next thing I want to show is the signatures from Bill Moseley and Sid Haig. Those guys were amazing people, the nicest people you will ever meet. So I got this off of eBay this last week. It is a window sticker for the Devil's Rejects that looks like a wanted poster. Sid just signed his to me and to his name. And then Bill signed to Brady, I am the devil, Bill Moseley. Cannot wait to frame it. It's an awesome poster in general, and two of my favorite actors in one of my favorite movies. And Bill is, like I said, is really super nice and nice enough that he gave me a second signature for free. So I'm really happy about that. Cannot wait to frame that either. Next up for signatures is who is it? Oh, Dee Snider. This guy is awesome. He's funny, he's tall, and he is a fan himself, which I really like. He had one of the panels I will be talking about was moderated by him. He's a really funny guy. Next I want to move to the poster I picked up for the convention, which is this poster right here. It's really cool. Zombie on the front, red like blood splatter all over it. I'm gonna get that framed soon and hang it up on my wall. And next I'm going to be talking about my pickups. I bought House of a Thousand Corpses and Dawn of the Dead, both on VHS. Special shout out to the East Coast Horror Group for having these on sale, $5 each. Actually, this was 10, but it was 10 because it was brand new and sealed, and I just had to get it because it was brand new and sealed. I recently watched Dawn of the Dead a couple nights ago for the first time, and I loved it. It was an amazing movie. Amazing. Like, Tom Savini does really good work in it. And of course, this will be one of my favorite Rob Zombie films next to The Devil's Rejects. Although I do favor Rejects over Corpses. What do I want to say about each of these people? Bill and Sid were really nice, really funny guys. Jason Mewes is so down to earth, so cool. And Dee Snider, unfortunately, I didn't get to talk to him much because he had a really long line and he had to, sign, take your picture, and get along so he could get the line moving. I did get to talk to Chandler Riggs though, and like I said, he's a really cool kid. If you ever get to meet him, I say do it because he's a really big fan himself of just the people that watch his show. He really supports it. The panels I sat on were The Thing, one for The Thing, one was a Jason Mewes panel, which is the most hilarious thing I've ever been to. One was Dee Snider's Killer Corner, featuring Dan Yeager, who was the Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw 3D, Derek Mears, who's the remake Jason, um, Bill Moseley, and Sid Haig. And then I also sat on They Live, a panel for They Live, and I will talk about each of those. First, let's start with the Thing panel. Now, the Thing panel was mostly about behind the scenes type stuff. Like, there was a story that at one point when they were transferring the actors minus Keith David to one part of the set to another, they all almost died because the bus almost crashed and fell off a cliff. But Kurt Russell really took his character to Mac to heart, and really, stepped up and became Mac in real life and made sure all his co-stars were safe. So really fun. Got our standing ovation afterwards. These guys loved the film. They loved that John Carpenter made it, and they all didn't like the prequel, and I kind of agree with them. The prequel wasn't that great. But yeah, really good panel. Next up, I'll talk about Dee Snider's Killer Corner. It was mostly Dee Snider fangirling over Bill Moseley, Sid Haig, Derek Mears, and Dan Yeager, asking, like what their favorite kills are, what was their favorite kills to film. And Bill Moseley's kind of a cynical dude. He said, his favorite was Passion of the Christ. He's weird like that. But that's just Bill Moseley, and I don't expect anything less from him. And a lot of it was also making fun of Sid Haig and how old he is. But it was a really entertaining one. A few fans got to ask some questions, but I could just listen to these guys talk forever about how they made their movies and stuff. They're really inspirational, and I really do listen to these guys and think, oh, I could do this in the future, and hopefully I will do it in the future. The next thing is They Live panel featuring Meg Foster, Keith David, and Roddy Piper. This panel was really, really interesting, gave me a whole new respect for the movie, which I've only seen once, and I actually watched it earlier in the week before I went to the convention. It's a really good movie, and they said something in that panel which was, this movie can transfer from the 80s to today. And I agree with that a lot, mostly because, the world is just weird. So, yeah, I agree with what they say, how this movie can still impact how you feel in today's world. And then the next panel I would like to talk about, which was my favorite panel, is the Jason Mewes panel. The Jason Mewes panel was like a Q&A stand-up comedy thing going on, and it was hilarious. The funniest guy you will ever meet. The funniest thing you will ever be to. At one point, he farted into the mic and stopped, and the crowd and him stopped for 5 minutes just to laugh, because hey, when Jason farts in the mic, you laugh because it's funny. For the Todd in the Book of Pure Evil fans, if you know what that show is, Jason Mewes was in it. He confirmed that Todd in the Book of Pure Evil, the animated series finale movie, is being made. So yes, that is being made. And right now, Clerks 3 is being shopped around, to see who wants to pick it up and make it. About halfway through Jason Mewes panels, Derek Mears, who plays Jason in the Friday the 13th 2009 version, came in, and apparently they do this a lot. They crash each other's panels. It is hilarious, those two together. Derek Mears is a huge fan of Jason Mewes, and those two together can make a whole comedy album, and it would be amazing. Yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. Really good, fun experience. Can't wait till next year. If you, like I said, if you get the chance to go. They hold these in Los Angeles, Chicago, Indianapolis, and Atlanta. Really fun experience. Really great first con. As always, you can follow me on Instagram at Hardcore Horror Nerd. You can like me on Facebook at Horror Affair, and keep checking the YouTube page. I'm gonna make one of these videos every week. And hail horror.